Hello, welcome to my channel. This is the channel about knitting and about crochet. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. My name is Maya. I am a Croatian living and working in Germany. This is my space where I want to share my projects and to connect with all the fellow knitters and crocheters around the world. Today I didn't have much luck with the filming of this podcast because my audio is not working on my phone and I get this staggering sound. I even tried the microphone. When I tried the microphone, the audio was having some like sounds, and if I didn't have microphone attached to it at all, then the audio keeps breaking. And there are just some silent sections. So if you know what it is about, let me know. Or maybe it's just the time for me to buy a new phone. So now I'm filming with my computer. So hopefully things are going to get better. I'm a little bit out of breath, a bit shiny. It's quite warm here under the roof. And yeah, the summer is coming, and this is the subject of this episode. We are talking today about summer tops. I have selected a couple of summer tops to knit for my daughters, and this one is the first in the series. They liked it the most. It's a relatively new pattern by Lily Kate France. It's called The One That I Want Crop Top. It's knit in garter stitch, and it has this beautiful edging. I don't know if you can see, it's crochet around the neckline, the armholes, and oh, I'm going to fall from the chair and look at the back. I put 7 buttons, but the number of the buttons depends, of course, on the length of the garment. I added 10 stitches to this one, but I think it's quite cropped. I couldn't get the gauge right. I must say that I tried to do size number 2, which would correspond approximately to small, and I knitted this top with sorry about that. I'm very careful not to fall together with this dummy on the floor. So I was saying I was knitting with 3.25 millimeter needles. Not sure about the US size. I will write it down below. And size 2 version with normal bust, because the designer offers you also a version with the fuller bust. This top is shaped very intelligently with some short rows to be very nicely fitted around your chest and around your body. The second version that I made is this one. This is also size number 2, but with the fuller bust, because I have 2 daughters. They are both 14. They are twins, but they are different in size. One is a little bit shorter. I mean, they are both tall, but one is a little bit shorter and has flatter chest and a narrower waist, while the other one is quite tall but has fuller breasts. So I have to adjust the things that I make for her. And yeah, this one I originally knitted for the shorter one, and it's too big for her, so it's the taller daughter is going to get both tops. And this version is in cotton, plain cotton, 100% cotton, which I bought in Croatia. I also bought it in factory. Yeah, I have a tendency to look for a bargain. And this, if you have watched my previous episode, you'll know that I bought quite a lot of yarn in a factory as a factory discards, and I was planning to save some money, but actually I did not save much time. So if you take into account that time equals money, I actually did not save anything, unfortunately. But this one is fabulous. I don't know what it is, but it's really amazing. It was there were many balls of this yarn in a big cardboard box, and it was written the price. Under the price it was written cashmere, viskose, and I think also silk, but I'm not 100% sure, because this yarn is not what this factory usually sells. I know their offer fully, because I've been buying for more than 20 years the same type of yarn, and I like it because it's quite it's a good quality, and the colors are really remain vivid and bright after many washings. So I have still have some tops that my sister made for me. Of course they don't fit me anymore, but my sister made for me like 20-25 years ago, and they still look very well. And yes, this one is really a pleasure to knit. I took this time smaller needles. I took 3mm needles, and these are these carbones. I love them. I really like them a lot. So smaller needles, size 2 and fuller bust, and this fits perfectly. I hope I will make my daughter, I will succeed in convincing her to model this for me, because it fits her very well, you know. The only thing I would do, if I would do it for the second time, and if you are working on a version with a fuller bust, you have to pay attention that the size of the breast takes a lot of this up, so it then becomes quite cropped. If you don't want it very cropped, then you should add more stitches to it. And the only thing that I did differently from the pattern is this edge, you know, because the designer said you should slip stitches at the end in order to have this beautiful chain. But here, when the edging is attached, it doesn't really matter. But for me, you know, it's more mindless if you don't have to pay attention at the end of every row if you should slip the stitch or not, because on this version I made in a couple of places, you can see here I made a mistake. You see, this one I slipped, and yeah, maybe somewhere else as well. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm not giving away too much of the pattern, but I strongly recommend it. It's lovely. It's really lovely. And I got commissioned by my children to make more. So I'm working on the third one. And this one is also factory discarded, you know, production discarded yarn. You see there are many short sections, and I didn't have enough of one color to make the full top, so I'm using these two shades of a lighter lavender and a little bit darker lavender. I originally thought about the stripes, but my daughter said she doesn't want stripes, she wants it just randomly inserted here and there, and I'm not quite sure honestly if that is a good idea, because here you get these jogs, and it's not quite neat on the right side, if you ask me. So I'm inserting here and there some sections of lighter yarn. We'll see how it goes. She doesn't want crochet edges. She wants it with some type of ribbons, you know, the ribbons here where the straps are attached, and the ribbon closures on the back instead of the buttons. So yeah, I didn't have much time to knit lately, because this is the full season at my work. All the companies issue their balance sheets for the last year, and yeah, the first quarter results are issued as well, so I have a lot to do. So at the evening I'm either too tired, or I just don't want to look at it at anything. You know, I'm unable to concentrate. But anyway, I don't want to complain about work. I usually, you know, I promise myself not to complain. It's difficult to keep that promise, but yeah. This is just coffee, nothing fancy. The other project I'm working on are these socks. If you have watched my previous episode, you know I have already showed them. This is Regia yarn, a German yarn. I started with 68 stitches, plain ribbing, 2x2 rib, no, 1x1 rib, and then I reduced by 4 stitches here because I wanted the longer sock, and you know, of course, in the upper part the leg is wider. This time I decided to learn another type of the heel because I usually do either afterthought heel or fish lips kiss heel. That one is my favorite, and I'm knitting on magic loop. But this time and these are 2.25 millimeter needles, the standard needles for socks I use. And I made this different type of heel. I made this flap. These ribs are created by slipping one, knitting one, and I'm stuck now. I don't know how to go on because I've never done it before. I'm watching some YouTube tutorials. If you know of a good tutorial, please send me a link because yeah, but as I was saying, this is the period where I'm very it's difficult for me to concentrate on complicated things after the work, you know. I'm a bit drained. And then I must confess that I bought some yarn, although I promised myself that I will not buy any yarn anymore because my stash is big. I have enough to knit for the whole next winter and for the 2 summers in advance. But yeah, I think I have this this problem. It's called yarn addiction. If you have yarn addiction as well, please let me know what are you doing about it, if you are doing anything at all. So yeah, one day what happened is quite accidentally I entered into a yarn shop. I was not planning to, but it was an accident. By accident bought some yarn. I went into a car repair shop because I had to check the pressure in my tires. And then they told me to come back within 1 hour. And since it was not quite close to my house, I decided to walk around the town. You know, I live in a very small town here in West Germany. And there is only one yarn shop left. Before the pandemic there were 2, but I think the one which was closer to my house unfortunately is closed. And this one I remembered I haven't visited for 2 years because it was closed, and I saw it was open and I was so happy because I know the lady. I used to chat with her before, and you know, it's quite interesting. She suffers, unfortunately, from many allergies. Particularly, she's allergic to perfumes, to disinfectants, to dyes, which makes her, you know, she's forced to carry only one brand of yarn because she said she tried others, but she gets the reaction, some kind of skin reaction. And yeah, she can carry only one brand, which is a German brand. And then we started talking, and yeah, and when I look at the yarn, the thing is, I get so many ideas, you know. I get all of a sudden projects in my head, etc., etc. So I got an idea about the yarn that I bought this winter, this brushed alpaca silk from Drops. And I don't know, I find it, I can't say that I totally dislike it, but somehow I feel it, you know, on the screen I see it's blue, but it's kind of greenish blue. I don't know. Anyway, I don't like it. Just give me a second. I show you something. Originally, I bought this yarn to combine it with this Drops Air. And you know, I love this Drops Air. Look at this. It's not a uniform color. It has other speckles of other colors in it, and it's absolutely love it. I adore it. I adore it. I made this berry diamond sweater. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I already talked about it a lot. And I decided against combining these two yarns together. I just knitted with one strand of this Drops Air, and then I have quite a lot of leftovers. So I don't know what to do about this particular shade because it's not to my liking. And then I got an idea that I'm going to combine it with another mohair. And yeah, so I bought this one. It is 100% mohair by this German brand called Zitron. I will show you the label. I'm not sure if where this can be bought, but you know, it's, you know, proven that you won't get any allergies if you are very, very sensitive by wearing garments made from this yarn. The company is situated in Viskose. I have no idea where that is. This mohair is 25 grams, 225 meters, recommended needle size 3.5 millimeter to 4.5 millimeter needles. Yeah, and this is this light gray color. And when I combine these two together, this gray did nothing to this blue. Absolutely nothing, you know. This still remained overpowering, and so I discarded that idea. But because I felt guilty that I bought this yarn, and it's a bit pricey for mohair, I immediately had to cast on a project. So what I did, I'm going to combine this with this silver gray. I think it's silver gray or pearl gray. Silver gray by Holst. It's Coast. It's 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton, 50 grams, have 350 meters or 383 yards, needles 2.5 to 3 millimeter needles. So yeah. And I cast it on a Ranunculus sweater because why? That's what I made. Yeah. Not much. The reason is I borrowed this Holst from another project. So I was thinking about if I won't have enough, I'm just going to make shorter sleeves or shorter sweater for this another project. And Ranunculus is quite forgiving. If you don't have enough yarn, you can shorten the sleeves, you can make it quite cropped, and in general it doesn't require a lot to make the full sweater. And this is already the fourth Ranunculus I'm making, so I already know the pattern, and yeah, so I think it's going to be a relatively quick knit. The only thing is it's a more of a winter garment than a summer garment, but oh well, yeah, you know, we'll see. If I don't make everything I planned for the summer, oh well, you know, I hope another summer will come for me. And another thing I bought is this beautiful alpaca. It's a fil royal, also by Zitron. It is 100% alpaca, 100 grams, 600 meters. And I bought it because I have a similar yarn that I bought 2 years ago from the same company. I mean, I bought the same yarn, but in a slightly different color. And I didn't know what to do with it because I didn't want another shawl or hat. And yeah, it was not enough to make a sweater. And now I'm going to combine it. I was actually looking for the same color, but they didn't have it available. So I decided to take this neutral beige and maybe make some stripes or maybe knit them together. I will see. I have to make swatches. I haven't made that yet. So yeah, I think that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this channel and this podcast. I have a tendency to watch out of the window all the time, but this is because I have such a beautiful view. Let me show you. I'm looking at this beautiful, beautiful stripe of yellow. Look at this field. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, at the moment also, what I wanted to tell you more, at the moment I am dyeing yarn. I collected some nettles this morning, but I'm not quite sure how it's developing. I was hoping to get this grayish green color, but I'm not sure that I did it right. I mean, the color of nettles changes more towards the summer or autumn. They give a brownish color. And yeah, I think I'm right in the middle where the green changes to brown. And I don't want another brown yarn. I'm not a girl who wears brown. I don't know why. It's not my color. I don't think it suits me very well. So we'll see. I'll show you in the next podcast how it turned out. So have a nice weekend and stay well. Bye.